Hello, my esteemed viewers. It's April 2nd, the usual update on the Ukrainian war events. Let's start with the Avdiivka direction, where our forces, though with effort, continue to move forward west of Tonenki in this increasingly narrowing defile between two rivers. Our troops keep squeezing the enemy in general. His defense line here, actually, now after we broke it in the area of Tonenki, it's relatively poorly fortified, so it seems that the next edges of defense for which the enemy will cling here is the road from Umanskoye to Nitailovo. That is, it's like a bypass route which allows the enemy to throw reserves here and thus stabilize the front here, because fully exposing the northeast of Nitailovo to the enemy is extremely dangerous in the midst of that. Our troops continuing the offensive in the Vodyane and Pervomaiskoye areas will be able to go much deeper. The enemy's Krasnogorovsk group is at our rear, and it puts them in a desperate situation. Precisely for this reason, after some successes on our part, we'll continue to push forward, pushing a few kilometers ahead, after which the enemy resistance here will intensify. Meanwhile, in the area of battles continue persistently in Semyonovka and Berdichi area. Generally speaking, enemy counterattacks have been repelled. Our troops are trying to expand. They're trying to expand their foothold in the southern part of Semyonovka, but it's proving very challenging so far. Yet our guys are doing their best, just like the attacks in the Berdichi area, constantly probing. The enemy strikes constantly with cabs and artillery, but I'm hopeful that they'll soon achieve their objective. Here's approximately what's going on near Avdiivka and what we can expect. Now onto the Avyar direction. Our troops, after a bull rush that brought us quite close to the secluded Yar, are preparing for the next attack. While the enemy tries to use drones to knock out our attacking troops and neutralize their actions, we retaliate by delivering strikes in response. That is, while awaiting artillery preparation, again like in the Avdiivka sector, we wait and hope that we'll be able to advance here and further, though the enemy fights back, stubbornly transferring reserves here, holding the front line, which applies to the two main directions. Other directions include Novomikhailivka, where after our troops captured the area south of Novomikhailivka the day before, well, between Novomikhailivka and Poroskoviki, one might even say the high ground, which allows us to visually control the roads that lead to the western part of Novomikhailivka, we still hold back the enemy. There is no information yet on the complete liberation of the settlement, but I really hope this will happen in the coming days. The enemy's resistance, though desperate, is clearly weakening as we gradually increase our pressure. Our activity north of there is also gradually increasing. This is Seversk, where very intense battles are unfolding between Seversk and Solidar, also progressing further north in the Ternov-Torskoy area, and even further north in the Stabayev area. Fighting has also resumed. At least our artillery and aviation are heavily pummeling them. Well, there's an escalation in intensity of clashes in the Kuprinsk area. That is, the northern front is slowly starting to grow loud again. Continuing the topic of the northern front, I want to note that there is news. Not only news, but there is a video showing. The population of Kharkiv is gradually starting to leave the city. That is, there is an anticipation that very grave events will commence here, and even if there is no land invasion, that is, the increasing number of our airstrikes on the city and its vicinity, primarily targeting the energy infrastructure, does not allow the population to live normally here. According to various sources, up to 50,000 people have left here in the past few days. Yes, it's not a lot yet, however, it seems to be just the beginning. It seems very likely that the Kharkiv region will become one of the main fronts of the special military operation gradually. Also, battles of local significance continue to take place. In the Rabotina, Verbove regions, our troops are attempting to break through the defenses. Honestly, I remain a bit optimistic, as I've said before, about tearing through the defenses specifically in this area. I suspect our general staff is making a big mistake, forcing our guys to assault where it makes little strategic or tactical sense. But I reiterate, I no longer comprehend our military advisors' actions. Honestly, you'll agree that it can be very difficult to understand them at times, especially for an ordinary soldier who has to bear all this burden. I hope at some point this issue within our army will be solved.